Hey guys, good morning. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 39. And today, man, we're gonna talk about how you recognize when shit changes in a relationship, and how do you move forward or step back from that, right? Um, yeah. They're called situationships, or platonic friendships or whatever it is. It's like, but for a certain that is like when you're talking to somebody or when you're dealing with somebody, and let's say it's the opposite sex, the same sex, whatever. Like, I don't judge. It's like, yo, if you're happy, you're happy. You do your thing, right? And you can kind of see the dynamic between a switch. Um, and when I say we, I mean the people that we're talking to. It's like whether it's a girl you talking to, a guy, whatever. And you end up treating them like they're your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever it is, and in reality there's really no label behind it. And then when you but at the same time, the both of you know that what you two have stumbled upon is more than just friendship and less than lovers. Um and I think that's true. I think that is so true. It's like where you can have a connection with somebody, whether you've known them for years, a few months, or whatever it is, and it's like, yo, it's like I ain't saying that this person is the one, for forever. But this person is damn near close to it, and I think it's very important to realize that as well, because when you find somebody who've seen you at your worst, who knows all your shit, all your transgressions, all your mishaps, all the shit that you was doing in the streets, all the girls you played, this and this and that, and like yo, and she's still here, she's still talking to you, and she still wants to figure you out, and you got to take stock in that. You got to realize that, yo, it's like, and what I'm about to say is that men don't change a lot for other people, but no, we usually change for ourselves. And when you meet that individual who makes you want to change, makes you want to be better, and not just in the relationship you're in with them, but just overall, that makes you want to level up, that makes you want to just get your shit together. Is like, yo, like, go find, like, go work on yourself and make yourself better. And yeah, man, I think it's extremely important to recognize the signs in a relationship, and then like have that conversation, you know, like, no, like, as difficult as it may be, or as gut wrenching as it may be, is like have that conversation. And then the one thing, man, is like, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Whether it's your girl, your man's, whatever. Uh, don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because being vulnerable actually makes it a better situation. Because as a man, if my girl is being vulnerable with me, I'm gonna be like, yo, okay, like, she high key trusts me, because it's like look at what she's going through, and she's still trying to reach out, and she's still communicating with me and everything, right? And I think that's important too, because so many people are afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to be judged or afraid to be criticized. And it's like, you know, they just don't know how to go about it, because when and breakups suck. I've been through it. We all been through it. People who can watch this video is like we've all been through breakups, and it sucks. You know, but at the same time, it's like yeah, yeah, breakups gonna mess you up. Whatever happened, whether he or she cheated or he or she ghosted you, just up and left, whatever it is, and it's like, and it takes a while, man. It's like it takes a long time for the other person to realize that you ain't going nowhere. That like you ain't going to go nowhere. Like you've been here. The key word I always use is the arena. It's like you know I've seen people fight with themselves. You know, while the other person is standing in his own arena, looking at them like, okay, you're fighting with yourselves, but come over here because I got all this love for you, right? I'm just waiting, and that's the thing, man. Waiting is it's a double-edged sword because it's like, yo, like, do you wait out and run the risk of, you know, not, you know, not, getting what not even what you need, more like just what you want. Like, do you run the risk of just doing that and missing out on something else that could be possibly great? Or do you stick this person in the friend zone knowing that it's more than this friendship, you know? And I'm not talking about sex or how they look or, you know, like the measurements of the body. Like, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, like, yo, when you feel mad comfortable with somebody and it's like you can talk about anything. And, like, when you on the phone for hours on end and it's like, or when you texting back and forth and it's like, the conversation is flows, or when like you both know you and the other person both know that what you have going on is more than this friendship, and a deeper connection doesn't necessarily have to deal with just sex, you know. Anybody can have sex. That's easy, you know. Anybody can say enough shit to to have somebody getting jump into the sack with them and it's like do the deed, but to be vulnerable with somebody and to explain what you went through and or what you're going through, and have them be like, okay, I get it, okay, you know, and have them still be there, that's that's big, you know, because I'm gonna be real with you, when I was younger in my 20s, man, I was never that dude. I was always looking out how to get, I had a rotation, man. It's like, you know, yeah, I had a rotation, and it's like I just didn't give a fuck about anybody else but me. Not like I wanted to get my rocks off, and boom, I did that. Like, yeah, I was a late bloomer when it came to doing that shit, but at the same time, man, like it was fun, but I started looking around like I was like 28, 29. I'm like, yeah, yeah, nah. So I started looking around like, yeah, nah, nah. It's like, and the reason I started doing that is because it's like, yo, like I said, sex is cool, but that's 45 minutes to an hour or whatever, however long you last in bed. Um, but if you had nothing, like nothing else to talk about, then it's like, what's the point? It's like, and I think that's extremely important because it's like you have to find somebody who is willing to, like I said earlier, see the worst in you, you know, not judge you for it, but like you're like, okay, yeah, like, like, okay, that happened before me, but I'm here now, I ain't going nowhere, so let's rock. And I think that's important because a lot of people, man, they're handcuffed by their past and they're anxious about their future, so they forget to live in the present. You know, anytime somebody else walks into your life and a relationship can potentially develop or just spring up, this just be sprung upon the two of them. Um, it's a scary feeling for somebody who's you know had to deal with being an option, being left on red, being ghosted or whatever it is, because your brain fucks with you, right? Because your brain is like, nah, like yo, like this is what happened last time, and like this was happened the last time we let somebody in, and we ain't fucking doing that. And I think it's it's a mind fuck, but if you take your time and if you realize that the other person's still here after all that shit, bro, they're not gonna go anywhere. Number one, because they don't want to, and what you build with that individual is paramount. Because, like I said, relationships, they're deeper than sex, man. It's like you don't have to have sex with somebody to have a deep relationship with them. I mean, don't get me wrong, sex is great, sex is wonderful, but your relationship shouldn't just be built on that. Just purely sex alone. Being vulnerable is something that we all have to practice, man, and we all have to get better at it. Because yeah, it's scary, but you know what? It's also, what's more scary? Being afraid to commit to a relationship because you fear what happened before you is gonna happen again. So sometimes, man, you got to get out of your own way, and you got to realize that, yo, like this is what I got in front of me, and I think this person's legit, and keep it moving. Anyway, guys, it's 12 minutes of your life that you won't get back. Thank you for coming to my podcast, man. I hope y'all keeping the 4 P's: private, player, positive, and pushing. I'll see y'all next week. Goes.